Good morning and welcome to episode 1722 of Hard Factors, Monday, June 2nd, 2025. Thank you for cheating on the news with us. 80% accuracy guaranteed on this podcast. Patreon.com/Hard Factor. If you need more Hard Factor today,
you might.
You screamed so hard you knocked yourself out of your mic.
Yeah, it's pretty sick.
Yeah, dude, you scared the mic.
I must have, because I was.
You guys heard?
Yeah, now you're good.
Crazy. All right, I'm back in the regular microphone. Sorry if you're watching the live stream. Sounds perfectly fine. If you're on Spotify, Apple Pods, whatever.
Right.
Thank you for cheating on the news with us today. Pat is up first. Pat, what you got?
Well, someone might have punched Elon Musk in the face. He's claiming it was his son, but it also could be Trump's chief of staff or Scott Besson. I don't know. We're going to get into it. But Elon is out, and he's weird, and we're talking about it.
Yeah, someone punched him in the face. We don't know who, but
Yeah, it's 100%.
Someone punched.
He's got that shiner, and his temporary job did end the day before we were recording this. So, yeah,
it's all kind of related. It's big Elon update, so we'll see what's going on.
Okay,
there we go. Elon's world. The Mark is on deck. What do you got, Mark?
A quick lightning round of some of the events of the weekend. A couple sports related, and a couple terror related.
Oh, sports is more fun than terrorism usually. So
yeah,
we'll tale of two worlds there.
Yeah.
And then I've got nudes. Just people getting worked up, presumably about nudes or being nude themselves, or just having a nice rack. And that's what's going to be closing the show today. Yeah, no problem.
Thank you for having a nice rack is what I say. When I see one, I say thank you.
Yeah. I've got a pretty sizable rack for a man, so I'll say thank you for that. And also,
thank you for your cervix. So what would it be for the rack?
Thank you for your cervix.
There's got to be something there, but
yeah.
I mean, that's just we'll workshop that, and we're gonna end it with some nudity, some feel good, have fun nudity after all the terrorism and war. We'll talk about wars a little bit too.
We will.
Love nudity. I love it. I absolutely love it.
It's the best, right?
It's pretty strong. Pretty strong.
Best.
Man, think about just for how long there was no pants.
Like before they had pants. Yeah. No, it was great.
Like the day humans became humans to the day humans had pants is a long time. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah, it depends on according to Genesis, it happened pretty quick there, but in the real evolution of humankind, probably took a while to get something covering those penises. Yeah,
those dinosaur bones are from a comet. You know that, Will. Yeah,
I'm not wearing pants right now.
No pants. Well, shorts or just underwear.
Just underwear.
Wow, look at that.
Is that a flex?
Living life.
It's just what happened today.
Oh, it makes me feel a certain way.
I'm wearing this. Yeah, I'm wearing this as my eating shirt because Wes bought the group that went to Austin Foodie Land. Funny t-shirts to go to Austin Foodie Land. And we got a lot of compliments. A lot of the security people wanted to take pictures with us with our fat shirt.
This is my eating shirt?
Yeah, this is my eating shirt. That's what that's.
I like that.
I got this there. And then
those were the matching shirts.
It was about 120 degrees out and we all got heat stroke and it was just but it was decent food. But yeah, it was a little too hot to have, and all the food was hot. I was like, you want hot noodles and soup?
It's a heat wave in Nevada, so I can't imagine how hot it is in Texas.
Kind of a stupid event to hold in the summer when 80% of the food is piping hot. But
I mean, you can't even fathom how hot it gets in Texas in the summer. You can't. If you haven't experienced it, it's insane.
We were going delusional by the end. I did like 14,000 steps.
Hang out by the barbecue pit, buddy.
Yeah.
Come on, get close to it. Get a little whiff.
Yeah, it was the stupidest. We had fun, but it was just like after 3 hours, we were all like passing out. Anyway.
How much was it? What was the ticket?
Oh yeah, so it's like $8 to get in. They have like 150 vendors, and each vendor's like $10 to $20 per item. So like you just get to pick and choose, what items you want to buy.
It wasn't at all you can eat where they hate to see you coming.
No, not like
not in that shirt.
As you can bet,
Them's their eating shirts.
I was probably right in the middle of the weight class there, as you can bet. There were some big ones there that I was worried for with that.
The heavyweight division at a eating festival is
This is an eating festival.
Yeah, that's it.
That's what it was.
Was it dubbed as a food festival or an eating festival?
Foodie Land was the name.
Wow,
of it.
come on.
3-day eating festival.
Yeah, it's an eating festival.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, cool.
I mean, food festival is an eating festival. You get one is the same.
Yeah.
It's the same.
One's a more dignified name. The other gets right down to business.
There was a lot of troughs.
Food trough.
Yeah.
Just dip your hand in there and grab some of that trough food. It's piping hot.
Why is there a pad down there next to that? What looks like a bathtub? Oh,
I mean, someone died there for sure. I'm telling you, it was so fucking hot. Just the stupidest time to do an eating a festival.
For their 15th jalapeno hot dog.
Yeah.
Shouldn't have had that many in 120 degree.
Okay, well let's get into the news, guys. Let's get into the news. So, as Will said at the top there, Elon Musk's probationary or special employee period or whatever it was, 120, 130 days, something like that, ended on Friday. And there was a press conference in the Oval Office to discuss it. And during that press conference, some interesting things happened. And this is a little bit of a complex story, but we're going to get into it. So right now, Trump's trying to pass a bill, right? The one big, beautiful bill. Okay. And
so big, so beautiful.
And over the course of the last, 6 weeks, a lot of the W's that Elon had put on the board on the Doge website have turned out to be like double counts, right? Or like, hey, that was cut even before you came in kind of thing.
He came out swinging with some big numbers early, and then it's... Yeah,
they saved like what was it? I mean, it's still a significant amount, but it's in the billions.
100 something billion, maybe they want to do 2 trillion, something like that.
Right. He started off fast, and it kind of tapered out a little bit. Yeah.
Yeah. So same day as this Oval Office report, the New York Times dropped another report, essentially retrospective of Elon's time in the Doge space, and they talked to, according to the article, like 10 to 15 people who are like in Elon's orbit, and some news.
The New York Times assessment of Elon's time is going to be interesting. Yes.
Well, I mean, it was, I guess, from the people they talked to, and some news came out that was kind of interesting. And here's some of the news that came out that was interesting.
Okay.
We all thought that maybe there was something up with Elon, right? He did that Don Lemon interview right before he fired Don Lemon after he hired Don Lemon, where Don Lemon was
a weird interview. Yeah.
Because I think Don Lemon maybe knew something about his ketamine use and was like, do you do a lot of ketamine? And Elon said something to the effect of, I have a lot of work to do. And so I wouldn't be able to do the work if I was on ketamine. So
Special K powers him through. I mean,
so do it. Right. And then he promptly fired Don Lemon.
I'm in a K-hole.
Right.
Have you heard of it?
Yeah, turns out, Don, I paid you millions of dollars. What the fuck?
Why you asking me about
and then he fired
him. The fuck, Don. Yeah,
pretty much a general thing when a billionaire hires you.
And then ketamine and fired Don Lemon.
Exactly. He snorted. He brought out the ketamine snorter.
Felt amazing.
You're done. Yeah.
Yeah.
You're done here.
Right, and then we had some of those Elon, some of the Elon clips specifically on stage that were fucking weird as shit. Where he was
with his chainsaw.
Off.
The chainsaw thing was super weird with Melly.
Dude, chainsaw was, I think, the peak of it. There was a couple before the chainsaw, where the one where he was like jumping up and down
next
at the
to
Trump
Barrett,
rally.
even.
Yeah. When
there's a new one. I don't know if you have the new one, but the new one's pretty crazy.
When he put on the black MAGA hat, it was almost like he changed his persona, and it was like, and it became, he was doing this like he was a salesman, but he was like the human version of the inflatable armed tube man salesman.
Sure,
and that was like his thing.
There's
while
a new
he was
one
wearing
that
the black MAGA
he's
hat,
gnashing his teeth and flashing his whipping his neck back and forth. And a lot of people that defend him are saying it's because he had neck surgery, but
I don't have one.
Your neck around if you
it's pretty alarming what he's doing.
See if you can find that one, Mark. I don't have it. I have the clip from the Oval Office.
Okay.
But yeah, I mean, a couple of
it is where he's standing next to Trump recently in the Oval Office, but it's a close up, and it's about 20 seconds of him like.
Well, it's got to be the thing about it. Those two now is it's got to be super
the whole
awkward.
thing, like just like very methed out type thing.
We're gonna get into that.
He's probably drugged out because it's got to be awkward because he's come out and said basically like I thought he was going to cut the budget. He's not. Elon and Trump are going to have a falling out.
It's something weird is going on. Honestly,
you heard that here at first on Hard Fact,
but it's totally it's an in an unexpected way. And we're gonna get to that. But
is it really? I mean,
I'll tell you what. Yeah, I'll tell you why. It's kind of strange because we thought initially
we called that it would happen like day zero.
Right. But we thought it was going to be like the previous Trump administration, where it was a revolving door. He couldn't handle sharing the spotlight situation.
Right.
It's happened, but in a different kind of way. We'll get to that. But a couple of things were going on with Elon, right? He was like in a battle with Grimes over the kid. He and then him and Grimes got back together, and then she found out he's having more kids with that one lady, the executive, and then the Ashley St. Clair situation.
Always be having kids.
Beyond that, he had about 12 investigations into him across all of his businesses from the federal government, right? We're talking FTC.
One more, Pat, that broke about his kids is this weekend is that it surfaced that he claims he had a child with a Japanese pop star.
So they had talked about that, but the pop star is new. They had said that there was like an unknown Japanese
sperm to anybody, baby.
He said he said anyone, Japanese pop stars.
He's a walking sperm bank. That guy, that's what he has theorized is in his brain. He believes that to be his purpose on Earth. One of them is to impregnate as many people as possible.
All right, so let's go to July last year. You got about 12 pending investigations. You're just sperming ladies left and right. You're running around with your child X against the mother's wishes. There's a lot of pressure. He bought X, which his son is named out. I don't know. Anyway, July last year, he endorses Trump. Okay, according to the New York Times conversation with his homies or people around him, at that time, Musk started telling people that his ketamine use was causing bladder issues, according to people familiar with the conversation. So he was doing so much K that he was like on a private jet, like, I pissed myself. Oh no, I pissed myself.
How much K do you have to do? That's like doing so much cocaine that you have
a lot
problems, right?
It's a problem. Apparently, I was reading that doctors say bladder issues and bladder pain is a symptom of ketamine
Not
abuse. Like
microdosing.
doing a lot of K, bro. Going through the K hole. Deep and hard. Also from the Times, it says that he traveled with a daily medication box, and I can kind of get behind this. About 20 different
man is definitely going to have.
No, his medication box is a lot more fun than your average.
He's the richest dude in the world. He's got the best medication
the coolest
box.
medication box.
They called it a medication box. I imagine it to be like a festival drug dealer's fanny pack. That's what I imagine it to be.
Absolutely. But the best possible. It's like oak, made of oak. It's got like gold trims and stuff.
Right.
And
he's got the Teslas.
Pop it open. It makes a sound.
And stuff. He probably has it tuned programmed to play like a cool sound when he opens it.
See, what's strange to me is like if you're a musician, you have a guy carrying this for you that travels exclusively by roller skate, right? Like when Tom Petty, Tom Petty's guy would blow bubbles all the time. He always had bubbles with him.
Charlie Sheen had a suitcase guy.
Mm-hmm.
The K has to be in Elon's pocket. That's the one thing. So that's a deal breaker right there. It's got to be.
Diddy's guy was like that kind of Machine Gun Kelly look-alike young dude that was like he would fly around. He was this drug guy. Anyway, so apparently Musk had this box. He's denying this, and the reason that's important, I guess, is like SpaceX has to maintain a drug-free workplace, right? And there are random drug tests, technically, because it's a government contract space company. Musk apparently gets a heads up on it, but the long and the short of the article is that he was really fucked up heavily on
he's not designing the rockets. I don't really care if he's on drugs.
Right.
Like, I'm not trying to shame him for being on drugs, but he's definitely on drugs.
He's definitely on drugs.
He has a prescription for ketamine. I think he's got a prescription for about 1/10 of the amount of ketamine he does.
It's Adderall, it's ketamine,
ecstasy, mushrooms.
It's like he's gotten caught now with like 7 other drugs.
And he sounds like a great time. Just maybe not the great time you want to who's like reassessing government spending to have. That's a lot of people's takes. Whatever. Okay, so the New York Times.
Well, the Doge. The Doge is a department that now exists in perpetuity. I think that's more the point than Elon being there for the first 3 months or whatever.
Sure. So same day they're having this press conference. Elon's out. And Elon. One other piece of background. Big beautiful bill, right? Went to the Senate. They're going to make changes to it. Elon criticizes the big beautiful bill. Okay, Elon doesn't like the big beautiful bill or has issues with it, and said so publicly, which you know that you don't do in the Trump administration. And I guess that really pissed off his chief of staff and human penis, Stephen Miller. You guys know Stephen Miller.
Yeah. Well, I mean, all Elon did was say something that was very true, which is Trump was breaking his pretty much #1 campaign promise that he would try to control the national debt with the big, beautiful bill. So
anyway, there's beef with Stephen Miller. Stephen Miller fired back.
Stephen Miller don't like
criticism.
that.
Stephen Miller don't like that.
Stephen Miller don't like reality.
Here's another wrinkle. Here's another wrinkle, and it's not on Stephen Miller's head. It's the fact that his wife, Katie Miller, happens to be the communications officer at Doge for Elon, and she announced on Thursday that she was leaving the Trump administration. Okay, she was in the Trump administration, got assigned to Elon. She's leaving to go with Elon. Now, a lot of the internet...
she's taking sides with Elon over her husband.
Okay. Now, you got to keep in mind, I don't know if
Sergey
this
is Sergey knows a little bit about this.
Sergey Brin's wife was famously banged by Elon Musk before she backed Robert F. Kennedy as his running mate. Okay, I mean Musk is a dog. He will get you on a private jet.
She's skinny with dark hair. It's probably.
Yeah, you do not want to be like friends. He's had dinner parties with his closest friends and just done cheers and been like, "Does anyone's wife want me to sperm them?" And
that's right.
All the men are like.
If your wife's blonde, you have a good shot of getting out of there. But if she's skinny with dark hair,
you could not be in
Elon's
this dude's inner circle with a woman that you want to be monogamous with. You cannot do it.
He's like DJ Paul. Okay.
Yeah. You leave your girl alone, and she's gonna get stuffed. Bro.
She's gonna get stuck. Same thing with the drink. Okay, and same thing with the smoke. And it's gonna get smoked up or snorted up. However he's doing.
He's opened up the party box. Yeah.
And look. A lot of people took to the internet. This is the first, I think, win for Democrats in, let me check, about 14 months from a social media perspective.
Elon's black guy?
No.
Stephen Miller meme.
It was this post. It was at the Democrats posted
in the cuck chair.
Just a cuck chair at Stephen Miller. Now, look, there's no information whether or not they're banging, okay? But people are maybe pontificating that it could be happening, knowing Elon's history. She was in the first administration with Miller, okay? Obviously, her husband is a chief of staff currently, and I don't know. It stings a little bit, probably. Maybe it's a better opportunity. I don't know what's going on. But then that brings us to, guys, the press conference that we're talking about where Elon, it was essentially Trump saying, this is the end of Doge, Elon's leaving, let's talk about it. And what I'm about to play for you is a clip. See, Elon showed up with a black eye, okay? And that is on the right side of his face. Now, Stephen Miller happens to be left-handed. Okay, so a lot of people are saying that perhaps Stephen Miller punched Elon Musk in the face because he's Mr. Steal Your Girl. I don't know, but here is Elon being
possible.
Here's Elon in full weirdness mode, standing behind Donald Trump in the Oval Office, getting asked about the black guy, and then getting asked about his drug use. And I got to say, he drops a couple terrible Elon level jokes. Here we go.
There is a New York Times report today that accuses you of blurring the line between.
It's the New York Times. Is that the same publication that got a Pulitzer Prize for false reporting on the Russiagate? Is it the same organization?
I think my Pulitzer.
I think it is. I think the judge just ruled against the New York Times their lies about the Russiagate hoax, and that they might have to give back that Pulitzer Prize. That New York Times. Let's move on.
Okay.
Next question.
President Trump.
I wanted to ask quickly, Mr. Musk, is your eye okay? What happened to your dry? I noticed there's a juice there.
Well, it wasn't. I wasn't anywhere near France. So,
What?
Macron,
Yeah.
Macron just
Took a shot at Macron
making a joke about
the day before PSG.
Slapped, you know.
Best type of joke is one you have to explain.
So, I was just horsing around with Lil X, and I said, go ahead, punch me in the face, and he did. Turns out even a 5-year-old punching you in the face actually does.
That was X that did it?
Yeah.
X could do it. If you knew X,
He's with his mom right now. I didn't really feel much at the time, and then I guess it bruises up. But I just watched around with the kids.
I didn't notice it, actually.
Okay.
Trump jumping in makes me think he knew it was his chief of staff.
And that's what I was getting at.
I'll never be able to prove it, but that's a hilarious interview.
That's what I get at in terms of it being a little bit different. Their relationship is clearly over. Behind closed doors, sources said that Trump later said, "Was it all bullshit? He's a half man. He's half genius, half boy." He called him half man, essentially about his job with Doge because he didn't do $2 trillion. There's a falling out there. But what's weird is you never see Trump coming in and sticking up for someone, right? In public,
unless he doesn't want it to be aired that his fucking chief of staff did it.
Right. I don't know. I've never gotten a black eye from my 4-year-old. I've been punched in the face by him many times. I don't know how big X is. He's a year older. 5, maybe. Can get a black guy?
He's the kid who put the booger on the desk. Elon also threw him a bone though, because like he has been talking shit, and then he went in straight to Trump's favorite thing right now, which is that Pulitzer Prize shit for the New York Times.
Right.
So he kind of threw Trump a bone, and I think that was a strategic thing because then he knew that Trump would be like jovial at the rest of the interview.
I think Elon liked the opportunity and being in DC, and he doesn't like any politician more than Trump, even if he disagrees with some of those things. So it makes sense for them to still be cordial.
Yeah, I mean they're gonna be in a beef. Yeah, of course they're gonna be in a beef because, like Pat said, Elon said he would do $2 trillion in savings. He got hundreds of billions, whatever it was, and that's not enough. And then Trump, unbeknownst to everybody who was listening to him during the campaign, was going to add, several trillion to the deficit, which he definitely did not say he was going to do. He said he was going to do quite the opposite. So both of them are in a position of being it's understandable if they're upset with each other.
Have either of you ever asked your 4-year-olds to punch you in the face and then not moved?
Never. Straight. No, in fact, you do the exact opposite. Don't punch people in the face.
Right. Like how come that's not being brought up as odd?
It's like handing a child a weapon to tell them that it's okay to punch you in the face. Because then
Just
you're going to be somewhere in public.
Yeah.
And your kid's going to punch someone in the fucking face.
You generally say no punching, yeah.
No punching. Two points. Trump sued the Pulitzer board or whatever, and the judge ruled that the case could go forward. So there's been no ruling in the case whatsoever. And one other thing, Steve Bannon said that Scott Bessent, the Treasury Secretary, said to Elon, you promised us $1 trillion in cuts, and now you're like $100 billion, and no one can find anything. What are you doing? And then that's when Elon got physical. It's a sore subject with him. He's really testy about it. Bannon said it wasn't an argument. It was a physical confrontation.
Okay. So did they understand how the fucking budget works? Even if he was to save $2 trillion today, when they add another $2 or $3 trillion, that just puts it right back. These fucking morons are like, they're trying to blame it. They're trying to use him as a fall guy for the fact that they're not going to reduce the deficit or reduce the national debt. But he's correct to say, like, look, it's not my fault you dumbasses add a shitload of money to the fucking budget. And so, yeah, I mean, like, they're going to be mad at each other. He's pointing out the truth. They don't want people to recognize the truth.
Look, Will, you could be right.
Could have done it. I've seen him. He's got a
You could be right.
No,
I don't. I mean, not about the Stephen Miller shit. But I think definitely happened. But I'm saying about the dynamics of the whole budget.
Sure.
What matters here, Will, is which one of the three men punched Elon in the face. One of them boys.
I don't think it was
X, Stephen Miller, Scott Bessent, or he could have ketamine himself into a doorknob. Who knows?
If I was like setting the odds, I would give Miller the best odds.
It might have been one of his 18 baby mamas.
Could have. There's only about
you're running a lot of risk for black eyes there.
When you're like, I'm not going to hang around you. I'm not going to be there for the kid.
Yeah, he pulled Ashley Sinclair's monthly allowance. Anyway, guys, when we start,
that might have been her, man.
Starting your own business is extremely intimidating. It's hard. Our very own Mike Wade, who does our trivia, hit me up not too long ago, and he said, man, I saw a meme, and I think I could make a lot of dough putting that on a shirt and selling it. What do you think? And I said, bro, super easy. Get Shopify. Get Shopify right now. You can literally build the website on Shopify's platform, or you can very easily point your Shopify to a domain name that you own. You can use AI to help build it, or you can build it yourself. It's plug and play. Even my mother could do it. That's not a slight to you, Mom. You've just never used a computer before in your life. Okay,
that's just how user friendly it is.
Yeah. We use Shopify for our store. The reporting is fantastic. Every year at the end of the year, when I'm given numbers to our tax or accounting people, I'm like, hey, this is what we made, this is what we lost. It's a super simple report. I can break it down into shipping. I can see where my number of customers are. If I want, I can use their marketing tools to email people and say, hey, what's up? You left something in your cart. Shopify is the type of company.
It's even easy for taxes. That's a great point.
Yep, that makes you say, that's right.
Yep.
Yeah, it's an alpha cash daddy sound effect. It's the commerce platform behind millions of businesses around the world, and 10% of all e-commerce in the United States. I promise you've purchased from a Shopify store before, and household names like Mattel and Gymshark to brands just getting started. So if you're getting your idea off the ground, please, check out Hard Factor's Shopify store. It'll be back up soon. Get after it. So if you want to turn your business into an idea that things with Shopify on your side, sign up for a $1 per month trial and start selling at shopify.com/hardfactor. Go to shopify.com/hardfactor. That's shopify.com/hardfactor, and you'll be hearing.
Yeah.
Cha-ching.
And while you're at it, get indoors or at least away from tall metal objects, because
living on the edge of a lightning bolt, and I do not apologize for that.
It's a lightning round.
Old school.
Watch out.
Bad news for the most electric league ever that Will has covered recently, the Run It Championship League, where two mainly large Polynesian men start 60-ish yards apart and run full speed at each other like an Oklahoma drills until one guy gets knocked out or the judges rule one a victor.
Yeah, that's you named you Run It. That's it. The league, and they probably some hakas tossed in there around there. You know.
Yes. Now, so here's like a
they had ring girls too. It's pretty fun.
Two large Polynesian men. A 19-year-old New Zealander, not large Polynesian, Ryan Satterthwaite, died after he suffered a serious head injury recently doing the Run It Straight challenge, which is you recreating this league or an Oklahoma drill yourself with your friends, not officially. So this wasn't
so it wasn't in a Run It.
This was
championship
in his backyard in Palmerston North in
I went to school there, Massey.
Massey
University
in New Zealand.
Yeah, this isn't a sport for colonizers. Okay, leave this to the natives. This is a New Zealand native sport. Okay,
there's a few Pakeha that could play this for sure.
Is that what they're called? Yeah.
That's the derogatory name for white people down there. Yes,
whiteies.
Especially when you're lined up against them and Run It. That's what they call you.
Yeah.
You're going down, Pakeha. So he was in his backyard with his friends.
Carl Hammond, he could play.
Yeah, there you go. He got
Kiwis know that one
too hard. They videoed it and sent the video to the police. He actually didn't get hit in the head, but he got hit in the chest and neck so hard that he got like whiplash. And after his friends picked him up, he was semi-coherent, according to his uncle and everyone that was playing the game. But he had brain swelling and died pretty quickly right after the.
That's tough. You don't want to recreate Run It without doctors around. That's 100% because they got a lot of doctors over there.
Yeah,
I feel like we got to say this because this is for any of our younger listeners out there. Here's a hard and fast rule: if you're ever doing something awesome and someone potentially gets a brain injury, stop what you're doing and run them to the hospital. Because more often that's what happened to Bob Saget, right? He hit his head and went to bed. Bro, if there's a brain injury, potentially.
The Oklahoma drills at the beach are like a little safer because they're like 5 yards apart
on sand.
On sand.
Yeah.
And we used to play a game we called Smear the Queer, like tackle.
Dude, on grass, Run It it's a tough game. That's a tough game.
You're the queer. Anyways,
but S&Q was just tackle. It's different when two guys are running.
Plus, you're not running straight
at each other.
Yeah.
It's different.
This
is like Red Rover if both sides were sprinting into the line.
Not a good one to play at home.
Yeah. Red Rover's a nuts game.
Rover was one of my favorites because I was
holding the line.
I was such a good line holder. Plus, I would bust every line. I mean, give me a break. What are they gonna do?
That's an easy game for Will.
Dominated.
Here comes Will. He's gonna be the L.
Rover. Beat the L. Okay, so
the original run it.
All right, Peter Ryan, don't play that game at home. If you know you're not a professional.
Definitely not. That game is fucking great. Do you think it'll shut the league down? Because it might.
Well, see, when we talked about it earlier, I didn't do my journalistic research, but I did before the show.
I had known it was outside the league. Right.
It looked like it was a league event based on the headlines.
So too. Yeah, based on the headlines.
It wasn't. I don't think they've responded yet. I don't think they want to respond.
They're gonna ignore that.
Yeah.
They'll do like a tribute to him or something at an event and be like, remember, never do this yourself. And then
now run it.
And bring the ring girls out.
Yeah. Not good. In other odd sports news, the steroid games are still on track to come to us in May of 2026, and anyone that breaks a world record will get paid $1 million. So,
I mean.
That's amazing.
It just kind of tells you what kind of shitty competition it's going to be.
Well,
because that's a false promise. It's a false promise. Is my point. It's great money.
Well, former 3-time Olympic champion swimmer, and he's got at least one gold, I think, James Magnuson, is pretty pumped. And he said, not only am I entering, but I am juiced to the gills in preparation for the steroids. There he is, looking nothing like what he did when he was an Olympic swimmer.
Dude.
Yeah.
He's on some strong steroids.
I didn't think about that. I'll be honest with you. I spouted off at the mouth like an idiot. I didn't think that the million
Pat that now can
I
didn't think about the $1 million.
$1 million when they were winning Olympic medals.
Right, would lure in.
Be fun to watch.
Yes.
Recently retired Olympic. Well, how recently was he?
Fairly recently.
Okay.
Fairly recently.
I mean, he doesn't look that old, and look how much steroids he's on.
Yeah, but so I don't know how that helps in swimming when you're bulky as hell. I don't know if he's just going to beat up the water, but it's going to be so much fun to watch.
Dude, I bet you could get a sports scientist and a mathematician together and figure out the exact formula, right? Like let's say you retire at 30, okay, and then the decline level per year, right?
When you have to enter the enhanced games
by the performance enhancement that you're doing. Find the sweet
spot.
There's
definitely a calculation, Pat.
Can
you're
you
definitely
imagine,
right.
Javelin and shot put though, with like recently retired Olympians just juicing
They'd
the
be
gills,
chucking
and throwing the javelin out of the fucking arena.
Right, what about fucking weightlifting?
Weightlifting.
This guy's picture. If you don't want to watch the enhanced games after seeing the Olympian who made himself double the size, I don't know what's. I mean, you're going to want to watch.
Direct quote from James is, "I'm juiced to the gills and ready to go."
It looks like he maybe didn't consult a sports scientist about how, like, what getting too big will do to your ability to.
Maybe
he looks like David Boston, the receiver. Remember when?
Dude.
David
so
Boston took so many steroids.
He had that one season, man. He was unstoppable.
He was huge.
He's huge. He was like a tight end size wide receiver running a 4.4.
And he was didn't he come out and he was like publicly denying his steroid
he was very juiced up. He got caught eventually.
I think he was using Barry Bonds' guy, maybe.
He was.
Those steroids worked.
Yeah, David Boston went from a skinny receiver to huge. All right. Okay, now to the bad news. Not good. The first one's bad news, obviously. The kid died. The second one's good news. Steroid games is going to be fantastic. Bad news between, guess who? Israel and Gaza. They're still having some issues. People are picking sides. Some of them domestically, right? We covered some issues. Well, here's another one. The FBI is investigating a terror attack at a Boulder, Colorado mall for an event called Run for Their Lives, which is like a peaceful walk fundraising thing for
like 5K.
Okay. Yeah, 5K walk to bring money and share information about Israeli hostages. It's like a peaceful protest walk thing. Several people were set on fire outside the mall, and not good. One vehicle and a man is a person of interest. Well, mainly the man. The car didn't do it, but it sounds like they saw the fire starter get in a particular car. And that happened a couple hours ago, and it's not good. The FBI has their hands full with domestic terrorism related to Israel and Gaza. So not good.
Oh, man, this is such a complicatedly stupid situation, right? Like, because it's like, it's so nuanced. And like,
how did it radicalize our population so much? That's the weirdest part.
Yeah. Well, it's because what Israel is doing in some respects is fucked up, but like it's also fucked
what
up.
Hamas did to start it was
I
also
watched
crazy.
I watched the 5-hour
nuance.
Vietnam War recap, and obviously people in America were pissed about the war, and it sucks with the soldiers coming back and not getting love because it wasn't their fault. It was the Westmorelands and the fucking the president with the big dick pants that Johnson
LBJ.
Yeah, like those guys were the ones behind the starting the stupid war.
Not Maryland current Maryland Governor Westmoreland, right?
West Moorhead or Westmore. I forget.
No, not that.
The general.
Yeah,
the general. But the soldiers got a raw deal, and then obviously we had a ton of protests here. But I feel like there was like less violence less deaths in the
over
protests
for our own wars, right?
For our war,
over our own. Yeah, I know it's getting intense. Yeah,
and related.
Well, I think it was the Ukraine-Russia thing. The proxy war being such a big energizer over here was maybe the start of it, and then it bled over into this thing. It's interesting.
No, this is way different. But my point was, well, yeah, what Hamas did was fucked up, and it is nuanced. But here's my point: holding hostages is fucked up, right? Which there still is really hostages. So it's like you're attacking the hostages event. Right,
right.
Which is like
it's peaceful protest for the hostages. It's not even like about Gaza. But in related news, here's another. Like here, look, I understand why people are upset with Israel and the IDF. I get that. I'm not saying anything like that.
They do some things that
killing
make you
people
upset.
though. In the U.S. In related news, because here's what pisses people off. In related news, at least 21 people were killed in Gaza also on Sunday at a Red Cross field hospital in southern Gaza, and it's being reported that like maybe the IDF crossed the aid lines and killed and bombed 21 people at an aid event, a Red Cross field event in Gaza.
Pretty bitter war.
So there's a ton of doctors that donate their time, right? Doctors Without Borders that go over there. I've listened to at least 3 different interviews with doctors that are like, children are coming in with sniper shots in the head. He's like, these guys are like, I was in Iraq. I know what a sniper shot looks like. These kids are coming in with sniper shots. They're being sniped.
There's reports that some Israeli gunfire targeted citizens. It's civilians. Look, it's fucked up. It's so fucked up. The whole thing, starting from Hamas. I know it dates back before then. I get all of it. It's the Middle East. It's a shitty
every
situation
video
over
I
there.
found.
Stop killing people in the U.S. I hope it
started at the
there.
Bible. Yeah. I was like, "What's going on?" It was like, "Well, the Bible." I was like, "Whoa, no, what's going on?" It was like,
it literally goes back beyond the Bible.
Yeah,
even.
right. Beyond the Bible.
Before that, even. Yeah. So it's crazy. It's got a deep history.
So that's the end
very
of the
intense. Well, a little bit more war stuff before we move on to the nudes. This is a funny meme. Well, it's real news. Germany's new chancellor vows to make the German army the strongest in Europe. And then I just love how they like shaded him in like a neon red there. Like he's about to go nuclear. It's just,
yeah.
It's a pretty.
He looks like Red Skeleton, the bad guy in Captain America.
He's radioactive.
Yeah. Because everybody's like, you know the connotations there. I don't have to explain it to you. Strongest in Europe again, baby. But in actually pretty fun war news, the Ukrainian army struck Russia with a surprise attack of drones. And it literally, so what happened was they snuck these drones into like a shipping container that was headed over to Russia. And it somehow sneakily got all the way through all of the Red Army or whatever, got into the base, and then the drones take off once they like open the container, and it hit a bunch of like $2 billion or something worth of like nuclear bombers and shit. Very successful.
That they can't recreate. That they can't make new ones of the planes.
Right.
They Trojan housed them. They Trojan housed them.
Trojan container shipped them. Yeah. And then so this is a funny meme. Aircraft carriers across the world: USA, UK, France, and then Ukraine is a box truck. Because
I read that they had cabins on these container ships that Russia set up, or like and then hiding in the roof of the cabins was
hiding in the top was the drones,
and then they had an auto.
Yes, you can see the pictures. I didn't put the good tweet up, but there's a bunch of good shit out there. You can read it. It's an interesting attack. Okay,
Ukraine has surpassed Russia for drone producing, and I think they're the second or third biggest drone producer in the world now. And like, dude, apparently, I just listened to an interview from military strategists talking about what they're doing. They're like, all eyes are on what Ukraine is doing because this is the future of warfare.
Well, apparently we didn't cover it, but
like a homemade drones.
Putin's personal helicopter got attacked by a shitload of drones, and the Russians successfully shot them all down. But it was like it was a very close assassination attempt.
Well, they didn't shoot these other ones down. Yeah. So hopefully it pushes Putin to finally move for peace, because I mean it's insane.
No, he bombed the absolute fucking shit out of them this weekend.
Well, yeah, of course he did in response, but I mean, like, eventually maybe he bombs them out, drinks some antler blood, and he's like, you know what? Maybe it's time. Hopefully. Anyways, pretty sure the Sydney Sweeney stuff got some guys going pretty hard, because they got hard all weekend, guys. And I got a couple quick ones, taking it back to Connecticut. So you know it's going to be weird. Thanks to listener Dan in Connecticut for sending this one in. A local man in Colchester. Yeah, that's right. But he's a local man, and this is about a local man in Colchester, Connecticut, purveyor of a local carpet cleaning business, 66-year-old Alan Sims. Here's his mugshot. And what do you think Alan got caught doing?
Oh my God, something really bad, Willie. Something real terrible.
It's less terrible than you think, probably, but yeah.
Looks like a shop teacher. And no offense to shop teachers, but he looks like he did something really bad, and he's a shop teacher.
Yeah, he knows he did something bad.
He didn't like what he got caught for. Taking it straight to local news, WFSB3 over there in Colchester, Connecticut. Quote, at 1:30 p.m. last Thursday, officers were deployed to Colchester Dog Park after a report of a person who was pleasuring themselves out in the open. There was a landscaping crew in the area. They told police they witnessed a man who was pleasuring himself while sitting in one of the park's benches while also watching pornography on his phone. The man fled before police arrived, but a witness was able to get his car registration plate as he drove away.
He had a car he could have been beating it in.
He ran to the car after jacking up the park.
You don't get it, Pat. How's he going to enjoy it as much in the car?
Just get a good parking spot and some binocs, dude. What are you doing?
There's too much framings of the window gets in the way. He had a 360 view.
He was like holding his phone up and squinting one eye, so it looked like the chick in front of him was in the porn he was watching.
Oh yeah, yeah.
You were doing it, honey.
That gets it going for Alan Sims.
He typed in park sex in Pornhub.
Oh yeah, the park sex series. Yeah,
searching the theme right there.
Dog park series. Yeah.
He's now being charged with public indecency and a breach of peace for sure. That one sticks. Sims has posted his $5,000 bail and is expected to appear in Norwich Superior Court on June 19th. And Dan in Connecticut happens, like I was saying at the top of this, to live in Colchester. So that's how we know that Alan is also a registered rug muncher or carpet cleaner. So he likes to do it on and off.
Out stains for sure.
Oh yeah. And then real quick, the titties across the pond. There was a British Airways male flight attendant who was traveling from San Francisco to London on Sunday when his coworkers noticed him missing from dinner service. Okay. And so they went to go look for him. And this is from the Daily Mail and the Sun. Quote, after searching for him in the aircraft, his boss was shocked to discover him completely naked and dancing up and down in the cabin bathroom. And so this dude just was fucked up from his stay in San Francisco, and he started just like got nude and started partying by himself in the bathroom while he's at work.
He was at work. Okay, he was an employee. Okay,
he was a steward.
Right. Yeah,
he was a steward.
He took a psychedelic. Probably
it's related. It's related. The titties are coming.
Okay. So I mean,
he got caught in the bathroom.
Jacking off in his own bathroom. Yeah.
Well, they said partying and dancing. I'd like to think that, like,
on an airplane,
if I'm at a job for, let's say, at least 2 months, 3 months, that I can win enough good favor with my coworkers, right? That if they catch me doing something like that, they're gonna be like, all right, let's make sure this doesn't get to the news.
How
right?
small is this guy, Will? How's he dancing in a bathroom on a plane?
Because they don't like him, Pat. One of his colleagues was so upset. He said the plane was cruising at 37,000 feet over the Atlantic, but this bloke seemed to be higher than everyone else.
Yeah.
And so no, his coworkers hated him.
Was he doing the No More Cowboys, like the Silence of the Lambs thing? With, like,
I think he partied too hard. He partied too hard in San Francisco, and he just couldn't handle it on his way back to London at work, and so he just started jacking off in the bathroom and dancing. He's now suspended and under investigation by the London cops. And to end on the titties as promised, Charlotte May Lee, 21-year-old British hottie, flight attendant, was just arrested in Sri Lanka for smuggling in over 100 pounds of weed. The trial has begun, and she's facing up to 25 years due back in court in 2 weeks. And she is very upset and very attractive. And so there they were.
Like, what's
Charlotte
the weed price
Bailey.
in Sri Lanka? That like
high,
it's
'cause
still worth
it's very
smuggling
illegal.
marijuana, right? Yeah.
Because she's like going to go to jail for 25 years for that. So,
oh man, do you guys remember that? I'm trying to pull up the story exactly what happened.
Sad.
We covered it. The Chicago art curator that stripped naked on a flight. We covered it back in April.
This is art.
Is there a follow up on that?
Yeah, they announced, the Art Institute announced that he's going to retain his $1 million a year job.
The curator?
Okay.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
What do you?
It's so common these days.
What do you think of when you see this?
Mm-hmm. I mean, he could have just spun it as an art piece.
Yeah,
you're right.
Yeah,
it's so common these days. And if you're not watching the video, I wore the Inter Milan jersey just to support, because at least Milan's not burned to the ground. You know.
Oh yeah. Speaking of,
we got crushed.
Dead. At least two people dead after PSG won 5-0 in Paris. Yeah. Celebrating. Paris celebrated hard. Yeah.
Yeah. Paris, Pennsylvania. Apparently, you didn't know it until
Paris-Delphia.
You didn't know it until it happened. But yeah, we'll be back, Inter. Don't worry. And that's it. That's the show. Thank you for listening. Remember, go to patreon.com/Hard Factor if you need more Hard Factor. Plus, you can join us for trivia night on June 20th with our boy Mike Wade. It's going to be very fun. You can only get there by going to patreon.com/Hard Factor and joining our community. But most importantly, get out there and have yourselves a great fucking day.
The cream of the crop!